Hey guys, it's Pete from Underground Reptiles. Look what I got for you today. This is an Indonesian white tree frog, aka Dumpy tree frog. Why? Look at that face. It's kind of got that dumpy face. But they're cute. And it's a boy too. See, you hear him? He's doing that little Plus males stay kind of brownish, while females get really green. And they get bigger. These will get almost the size, probably about the size of the fist, like that. That's pretty big. It's a good frog, excellent to keep and to hold. You see, it's just sitting there, it's not moving much. They do really good. It's a very good first pet for frogs, because a lot of frogs you can't handle because of the skin and everything. You still should have clean hands, which my hands are very clean. It's a these are, like I said, this comes from Indonesia. It's a beautiful frog. It's, like I said, it eats everything in sight. They're good eaters, they're good captives, they're very mellow. When they're babies, they can be a little jumpy, but this one's, like I said, this is a juvenile, so he's going to get a lot bigger. See them? Awesome frog. Really cool. And like I said, you could take them to reptile parties and stuff and show people how nice frogs are, because these are just, they're very personable. And they can live up to probably, well, what I've heard, they can live to 20 years. I think 10 is pretty much, but I read some places 20 years. That's a long time. That's an awesome frog. And when they get older, they get, the skin almost covers their eyes. They get really chunky, real heavenly built. So they don't look that pretty when they're big. A lot of people think, oh, it's cute, but they get really fat, like Jabba the Hutt. And they're actually, the fat can cover their eyes. If they're fed too much, you give them too much fatty foods, they can get overweight. You don't want that in a dumpy frog. You want it fat, of course, and robust, but you don't want it overweight that it can barely move and jump out the tree and go, I can't move anymore. You don't want that. So that's the Indonesian white tree frog. This is the Australian white tree frog. Australian Dumpy. Look at him. He's from Australia. This sucker is going to get big too. And I don't have a good Australian accent. So let's go back to my American accent. Anyway, this guy is going to be bluish when he gets older. It's going to be like an aqua blue, some greenish blue, aqua blue, sometimes even really blue. It all depends. But these are real pretty. These are another locale. These are an Australian variety. So the others come from Indonesia. This is Australian. They call it the Australian white frog. And like I said, they retain the blue. Now he's green now, but when he gets older, he's going to get that really nice bluish green color. And like I said, some of them are going to be even bluer. And that's a pretty frog. Same care, same everything. These guys are just great, because look how he sits there. He's really mellow. And see, he's got some spots, but not like the Snowflake. He's going to be all one color. And that's the Australian white tree frog. Good day, mate. Yeah, eat that fly. This is the Snowflake white tree frog, aka Dumpy tree frog. Snowflake, why? Look at the little spots. As this frog gets older, he's going to be covered with these spots. It's like somebody took white little paint thing and just spotted him up with paint. So he's going to be really pretty. He's going to get big too. This is a baby. As you see, it's called a froglet. So he's a little tiny guy. So this is a Snowflake white tree frog, Dumpy, that a lot of people like them because of the coloration. It's totally different. I mean, it's white spots, green body, brownish too as well, and same care and everything. That's the Snowflake white tree frog. Isn't he pretty? And like I said, all those spots are going to cover the top, the sides. It's going to be really pretty. See, he's loving the camera. Look at that.
Hi everybody, this is Peter here from Underground Reptiles, and what I got here today is called a Royal Egyptian Diadem rat snake. Now these guys are a really cool colubrid. If you're looking to do something a little bit different than like your ball python or corn snake, your more run-of-the-mill pet snake, you could definitely do one of a guy like this. These guys are really cool colubrids. They only get about 6 feet. And like I said, they're a little bit more fun than your ball python and corn snake, things like that. They're not aggressive, obviously. As you can see, they do really well. Anyone who's ever had a colubrid can testify. They're really fun to watch eat. They never refuse a meal. They're really hardy, really good looking snakes. These guys come from North Africa all the way down to the Middle East. And they're a desert animal, so you know, you could probably set one of these guys up for his entire life in a 30 breeder with a nice hot spot for him, UV light, hide. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple animal to keep. They do really well, really good with handling. They're a lot of fun. And that's the Royal Egyptian Diadem rat snake.
Hey guys, this week one of our creature feature animals are these awesome tortoises called pancake tortoises, aka flapjack tortoises, aka one of the most awesome tortoises you've ever seen in your life. Of course, they get their name from the flat shape of their body. Okay, it's unlike any other tortoises you've seen. And though it's hard to tell from the video, their shells are actually quite soft, which is normal. They're pliable. They can puff them up a little bit. They can inflate their shell a little bit. Down here, there's a softer part of their belly, which they'll use to inflate, because the way that they protect themselves from predators and stuff is they're actually quite mobile, quite active. These guys are quick to just flee from danger, as opposed to curling up in their shell. If they see or sense somebody coming at them, as you can see, he's just gonna run away and look for something to go hide in. They'll go hide in some rock crags and stuff like that, and they'll wedge their bodies in there. And there's Jonah wedging his body into the shot. So what these guys will do is they'll go ahead and run themselves in between some rock crags or underneath some rocks and stuff like that to protect themselves from predators. All right, now full grown, these guys get about 6 to 8 inches. Males and females are super easy to tell apart. Look at the size of the tail on the male as opposed to the size of the tail on that female. And they also come in a variety of different colorations and patterning. I mean, look, you've got a real light colored shell here. You've got a real dark colored shell here. They almost look like flattened like star tortoises or radiated tortoises because of that radiating pattern throughout. These guys are herbivores. They'll feed on dry grasses. They'll feed on fresh vegetation. Longevity, these guys live only about 25 to about 40 years. Some people say that, you know, they can live a little bit longer. However, most of the ones in captivity, most of the ones that they study out in the wild, average life expectancy is about 25 to 35 years, which is a little bit different than some of your tortoises like your sulcatas or your aldabras, which live a much longer life. These guys come out of Kenya and Tanzania, Zimbabwe, different parts of Africa, and these guys are about to go CITES 1 as well, which means you're not going to see these guys in the pet trade. And when prices, when I remember first getting into the industry, you would see these guys usually priced around $150 to around $200. Now you see these guys already going for about $2,000 a pair. Babies are about $500, and once these guys go CITES 1, which they're expected to do, that means it's going to be next to impossible to ever get any types of imports in, and all you'll be getting are the captive animals. Babies only come around once a year, and females only lay about 1 to 2 eggs a year. They incubate for about 4 to 6 months. So just a really cool tortoise. Now is the time to get into these animals if you're interested in them. Super cool to work with. They are hardy. They're fairly easy to take care of. Best of all, you can house them in like a larger glass aquarium if you wanted to, or if you got pens outside. They definitely like more of like a warmer, drier temperature. They come from sub-Saharan Africa, so they like a little bit drier, a little bit warmer. Pancake tortoise, flapjack tortoise, you'll flip out when you see them. Get it? Flip out. Haha. Pancake joke. You can keep that one.